Hi, welcome to Travels with Jack. I'm your host, Jack Barron. And if any of you have taken a recent trip, vacation, business trip, shopping trip, and you want to share it with your friends and neighbors, please contact us here at FPAC and let us know so we could have you for a guest on the show, like our guest today, Mr. Nelson Zide.
Thank you, Jack. How are you today?
I'm great. Nelson is a longtime Framingham resident. 37 years he has lived in Framingham. He has two great kids.
That's true.
And a wonderful wife. He told me three
very
times
true,
how
very
great
true.
his wife is. And he's an active Framingham Rotarian. He's a member of Chamber of Commerce. He also is a volunteer basketball coach for the Temple Beth Am Basketball League. And as head of the ERA real estate firm here in Metro West, based in Framingham, Key Realty, Nelson is also very, very active in the muscular dystrophy program. True. And Key Realty, he tells me, has raised over many years more than $500,000 for, I'm going to call them Jerry's kids.
For Jerry's kids, correct.
And I'll tell you, even if you don't enjoy the show today, he's going to talk about Las Vegas. Just the fact that he has done all that wonderful work for muscular dystrophy, I think is great, and I honestly want to thank you.
Well, thank you, Jack. It's my pleasure.
And I'm also going to give you my book, Nation of Tyranny, which is available on major internet book sellers as a gift. So
well, thank you
keep
very
that
much.
in mind.
But I like the plug. I like the plug, Jack. Thank you.
So, Nelson, I'm thrilled you came today. Tell me
Jack.
a little bit about Las Vegas, what made you go to Las Vegas, and share with our audience, if you would, a little bit about the trip, and we'll have some pictures coming up at various times during the show, and we'll address those.
Terrific. Well, this time we went, I've been to Vegas a lot of times, as a matter of fact, most time for business.
Okay.
It's kind of a nice place to go for a real estate conference, and that's what it was. This was the ERA's International Business Conference, and this year they had it at the Mirage Hotel.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, the Mirage is a very, very nice hotel.
Now,
there we are. Welcome
got a
to Las
picture
Vegas. This is
at
when
the
you first come
airport.
at the airport, McCarran Airport.
Which you found, what, a very modern, efficient type of airport.
It is very modern. It is very nice. It's huge because you got a lot of people coming.
Yep.
But it's easy to get your bags. It's easy to get taxis out of there because a lot of people would take taxis back and forth to the hotels. And what's also kind of nice about the McCarran Airport is it's very, very close to the Strip.
Yes.
So you only like about a 5 or 10 minute drive. I mean, I've been to Chicago. You fly to Chicago, it's like a half-hour drive to get there. So if you're on McCarran Airport to get to the Strip hotels, it's a very short taxi ride. So it's really, really quite nice to get there so you can really try to enjoy the most of your time.
It sounds to me, and I know I've been to Las Vegas, and I don't even rent a car.
No,
because
I never do.
You grab a taxi at the airport, it's $10, you're at the hotel.
Right.
And a lot of the hotels today, you can walk to one hotel to the other, and it can avoid that added expense of a rent-a-car.
Right. I mean, you can walk to most. It also depends upon where you are in Vegas. I mean, if you're on the Strip, if you're in the middle of the Strip, there's like 4, 5, or 6 different of the big hotels.
Yep.
I mean, near the Mirage was Caesars, was Harrah's, was Bally's, Imperial Palace. I mean, and it's a very easy walk to any of them and all of their restaurants and shows and so forth. If you're down near Mandalay Bay, which I've stayed, you've got Mandalay Bay, Excalibur, and New York, New York. So you can, again, walk
And I think there is a monorail that runs behind most of the hotels on the, for example, the Venetian side or the Wynn, all the way up, I think, to the Tropicana.
Yes, it does.
And then there's also inter-hotel monorails from, like, the Mirage, Caesars, on that side. So it really is an easy movability.
And even if you're at the Rio, which is off the Strip, if they're part of, I think, Bally's, they have a commuter bus.
Oh, really?
That's free. You can go get the bus, and it'll take you right to the Rio. So you can get almost any place there in Vegas with very little cost of transportation, which is one of the nice things why I like Vegas.
It is. I would agree with you.
Yeah, it's just really nice that way because it's a treat to look at all the hotels. I mean, it's just a great place to go. I mean, just people watching, you're just amazed at all the stuff that's there.
The stores and everything today are so amazing there.
Yes.
You just say to yourself, I wish I had more money to buy everything.
My wife tells me that all the time, that she wish she had more money. So, I mean, you got the Caesar, I mean, you got the Forum shops at Caesars,
Yes.
which is like 3 levels of every single store you can think of. And what's also kind of neat when you go to Vegas is what people, I think, who haven't been there don't realize, you can go and there's like so much also like inexpensive or free stuff. If you're at the Forum shops, they have like every half hour, a lot of, in one area, all the statues like come to life in a show.
That's right.
At the fountain there, and you can just sit there mesmerized. And if you're on the Strip, you can be near the Bellagio and see the water fountains with music.
There's a lot of things to catch your eye there that do not cost you any money whatsoever.
Right.
Just be a welcome visitor.
It is, which is wonderful, which is one of the reasons why I always like to go to Vegas, because you can go there and not have to spend a lot. You can spend a lot of money, and the people at Vegas hope you do, but you don't necessarily have to spend a lot of money.
Now, you stayed at the Mirage, which
Yes.
is hosting a terrific show by the Cirque du Soleil people that you
Yes.
mentioned to me you saw, which is the Beatles.
The Beatles.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, it was one of the most fabulous shows that I have seen there. And I will say to everybody, oh, there's a picture of one of the acts. There's acrobatic people and music and dancing and people coming from all sorts of directions, from the ceilings coming down and going up and in and out. And in the Beatles show, which is really nice, all the music is Beatles music. So they're doing everything
even
to
if
Beatles
you
music.
can't see, even if you can't see anything, just to sit there and hear the
Just to sit
songs
there and
is
you
great.
sing. In the theater that they're at, it is you can almost touch the actors.
Really?
It is very, very close. You know, almost wherever you are. When we sat down, we could almost see the people coming down from the ceiling on the ropes, you know, and then walking in and out. And it was, you know, uplifting. It was fun. And if you like Beatles music, it was
who does it at our age?
At our age, it was. I wasn't sure whether I was going to like it or not, but some of my friends said, "Come on, we're going to go. We're going to go to the Beatles," and it was an unbelievable time. And I will also have to say, which was kind of nice, which I didn't realize, is they also had a show and a dinner special.
Oh.
So you could go, and the show is at the Mirage.
Yep.
And you could have a dinner special at one of 4 restaurants at a discounted price.
That's a great
which
idea. I
was
didn't
really
know they
nice.
had that.
I didn't know either. When we went to go get the tickets, they said, "Would you like our dinner show and show special?" And we said, "Well, what is that?" "Well, you can pick one of the 4 restaurants. We do have a special menu, and a full course dinner was like $30.
Wow.
Per person, which we thought was pretty reasonable.
It is.
And so we said, great. So we went to the steakhouse there, and we had a wonderful dinner and plenty of food. I mean, just plenty of it. And then you walk 5-10 minutes, and there's the theater. So it was, if you're going there, you also want to check a lot of the shows to see if they have dinner specials at the shows, because I didn't know that until we went
I did
there.
not either. That's very interesting.
And so now next time I go back, next time I go to buy a ticket to a show, I have to ask, do you have a dinner special? Because it was terrific.
No, I know the food. Did you get an opportunity to dine in any other restaurants that you could recommend to our viewers that you enjoyed?
Well, I did in a more reasonable.
Yep.
Because I will have to say, right now, a lot of the restaurants in Vegas are very expensive. They've got to be very upscale, because now it's an adult playground. It's no longer the children's playground.
Okay.
It's an adult playground. But at the Mirage, they have a club, which is also a restaurant, the House of Blues. Excuse me, not the House of Blues. It was B.B. King's.
Okay.
B.B. King's. And we went, and it's really nice, especially for dinner, because you could go there for a reasonable dinner, which is barbecue.
Oh.
Okay, B.B. King's is barbecue.
I love barbecue.
It was fabulous barbecue. And then they have a band playing.
Wow.
Where you could and there's no cover charge, basically. You go, you eat dinner, you listen to music, they have a dance floor, and you can dance. And it was a very reasonable night. Which is, again, I like reasonable nights when I go to Vegas.
You know something? I think that's one of the big attractions with Las Vegas is there are so many things to do.
Yes.
There's still nightclub acts where, I should say a lounge act where you can go in, have a cocktail or some wine, beer, whatever. see a show, see a singer.
Right.
It's nice to do.
Oh, it's
and
very,
you don't
very
have
nice
to
to
spend
do.
hundreds of dollars with, parking everywhere and,
Well, that's the beauty. You don't have to park any place because you can pretty much walk to anything. In almost any of the hotels, I mean, if you've never been to Vegas, you think of a hotel, they may have a restaurant, and that's about all. Vegas hotels are like huge resorts. And there's restaurants and clubs.
Now, this is in front of, I believe, the Venetian Hotel.
I believe
or
you're
to
right.
the side of the Venetian. And, well, we're going to ask you one difficult question I didn't ask you ahead of time. Did you get to the casinos at all and do a little bit?
We don't want to talk about the casinos, Jack. But it's kind of hard not to be at a casino when you're at Vegas and casino hotels. But what that picture also showed, which is really fascinating, I'm glad they came back to it. When you're there at night, they don't care about the electric bill.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you, it is such fabulous views when you go out there at night. It was just wonderful. You just go out there and you're mesmerized by the view of all the lights and all the buildings and so on and so forth.
There's so much.
Which is really fascinating.
There's so much your eyes take in.
Right,
and,
it is nice. I've got to tell you, you asked about the other restaurant that I did go to. I went to Margaritaville.
Oh, okay.
Now, that was across the street. And I want to say, I think Margaritaville is in, I'm going to get this hotel wrong. I'm drawing a blank. I think it's in Bally's, but I could be wrong at that. But it's Margaritaville, and it was a lot of mostly fish.
Yep.
But it was, and they had 3 floors.
Oh,
and
it's that big a restaurant.
It's that big of a restaurant, and we ate outside.
Okay.
Overlooking the strip.
Oh.
So it was, you sat there and you ate and you drank, and you just overlooked the strip. And it was also very reasonable.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really quite nice to have a reasonable. Because I've eaten some restaurants that not that reasonable.
You know something? I think it's great where you can go on a vacation and you don't feel like you're spending exorbitant amounts of money for dining or even the hotel. The last time I was in Las Vegas, I think we stayed at either the Palazzo, which is part of the Venetian.
Right.
I had a rate with breakfast of $185 a night.
See, it's
you
fabulous.
I pay more than that at a Residence Inn in Hartford.
You do. Well, I mean, it was also kind of nice because it was interesting. Talk about rooms. Now, I booked my room early for the convention. I think I paid like $170.
Yep.
It was a refurbished room in a tower. It was very, very nice. And I kept on looking to see if the rates would go down. And I go to Vegas.com to look. Well, the rates kept on going up.
Oh.
And I didn't realize why. I'm going to tell you why it went up. But by the time I got there, the rates were $367 a night. Same hotel. But what I forgot, it was March Madness week.
Okay.
And everybody was there for March Madness.
Yep.
Busy, and it was also spring break.
Yep.
So they know when you have those things like that, room rates just go way up.
Yep.
Now, you could go, if you wanted, I checked the Imperial Palace and Bally's. They were like less than $100 a night, even during that same time.
And the Bally's is a nice hotel.
Bally's is very nice.
Yep.
I've even stayed in Imperial Palace. It's a little older.
Yep.
But it's still, the rooms are nice and clean.
Now, how did you fly out?
I flew out American.
Okay.
And I had to stop. I used my mileage, I have to say. But you could go JetBlue nonstop.
Okay.
Goes there, and I believe Southwest goes nonstop. And what the agents in my office told me is they were getting round-trip airfares right around $300.
Wow.
Which I didn't think was bad at all. Nonstop.
No.
Nonstop round trip.
That is a great rate. You're flying virtually to the coast. I mean, it's not quite Los Angeles, but not far. 200 miles from L.A.
Yep.
And $300 round trip is a terrific rate.
Right. I've also seen, if you happen to look in some of the travel pages from the Boston area.
Oh, this is at Harrah's.
That's at Harrah's. This is the guy that walks around to promote Harrah's in his lovely costume.
Okay.
And he's a live guy. I mean, he looks fake there, but he's a live guy. And he walks around and greets everybody and says hello. It's really nice.
Just tell me, did he bring you any luck at the table?
No, we don't talk about that again.
My audience, forgive me. I'm trying to get it out of Nelson that he won some money, but we're not going to talk about gambling.
But what's nice about Harris, I think there is again, but I think Harris has a dueling pianos bar.
Oh,
which is really kind of
great.
nice if you like dueling pianos and a lot of fun. And I mean, that's the whole thing about Vegas. It's all about fun.
Yep.
I mean, you got to go there to have a good time. I was going to say some of the travel that I've looked at that you can do airfare and hotel for like $500 for like 3 or 4 days from Boston and a nonstop, which is really very inexpensive.
No,
and I like to go someplace nice but inexpensively.
I will tell you, I noticed the last time I was there, the swimming pools, a lot of them are great. They have some of them have sit-down bars in the pool.
Yes.
You can sit and have a cocktail in the
Yes.
water.
Yeah.
It's nice to see all the young people walking around.
Yes, Jack, I know that.
I also noted, I think it was Caesar's Palace, maybe. They have, for our viewers who are interested in this, topless swimming pools.
Yes, well, they're more and more because the Mirage has one too.
Oh, they had one too.
Yes.
Okay, we won't go there,
Right,
Nelson.
and I have to say,
you
it
know
was
what
closed.
stays in, what do they say? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
I have to tell you, I looked for the topless. It's called beer.
Okay.
B-A-R-E. That's what it's called. And I looked for it, and it's a little bit early that we went in March, and it was closed. I was very disappointed. It was closed. But the Mirage pool is beautiful. It was a big circular pool. They had waterfalls in it. And I've been to a lot of the hotel pools. And, when you go there in the summer, I know it's very, very hot, but you can go there, and the pools are just fabulous.
Yes.
I mean, they cater to you. The water's beautiful. There's always a lot of waitresses around giving you all the type of adult beverages that you like, and so on and so forth. So it's really nice. But the Mirage had a nice pool. The beer pool was closed, but the pool was open.
It is. You bring up Las Vegas, and I'm always anxious to go there because it is always a great trip, in the sense you go and they just treat you so nicely.
They do.
Now, did you have an opportunity to go out to, on this trip or any of the past trips, anything like the dam, the Hoover Dam or anything?
I didn't have a chance to on this trip because I had a lot of business I had to do.
Yep.
But I have been to the dam. The Hoover Dam was just a wonderful trip. As a matter of fact, at one time we took a little boat cruise down the river.
Really?
And sort of
down
got out.
Colorado? I didn't know you could do that. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the dam, but we also had a boat cruise, and we had a little picnic.
Wow.
It was just really, really nice. At one time, I even went out to, I want to say it's called Red Rock something. That's like part of the desert.
Yep.
And you can go out there and just beautiful desert. I've also been to... who was the piano player who died? Liberace's museum, which was really quite fascinating.
Yeah, Liberace was a great showman.
Yes.
In fact, I've been to several, you're all going to think I'm crazy, but several Lady Gaga concerts. And I said to my wife that I'm convinced Lady Gaga is the reincarnation of Liberace.
Now that you say that, it makes sense.
Yeah, because she does all the great costumes, up to date, and Lady Gaga I find a very talented musician. She sings, she plays the piano, but I feel like because I'm at the age where I did see Liberace, live. I saw him flying on strings, coming out of the sky. I said, I can compare the two shows, and Lady Gaga, to me, is the reinvention of Liberace. Yeah.
Well, that's like a lot of the shows in Vegas. They all fly in strings.
Yeah, they're all flying.
All over the place. And it's something like you asked, like some other things. Like I've been into the Rio, and the Rio does like a Mardi Gras for free every day, and people are circling in the air.
This is in the casino.
In the casino at the Rio Suites, and you can be a part of it. They ask me if they want to be a part of it. They put you in this little...
They're going to lift you up?
They don't lift you up. They put you in this little cot, if you will.
We need you to sell houses, Nelson.
I know.
We can't have you flying around the casino.
But you can fly around the casino, and you see this like New Orleans style carnival that they're flying people around. And
That's great.
It's just really a lot of fun. It's interesting because when I go there, there are a lot of people that go there gambling, which is fine. And a lot of my friends who gambled, I'm not going to say anything about mine. And you've asked, I'm not going to say. But I always like to go there to try to be entertained relatively inexpensively.
Yep.
And I love going there when you can do things for relatively inexpensively. Where we are.
This is what?
I think that's B.B. King's.
At B.B. King's.
That is
okay.
at B.B. King's where I ate, where you had the house band in the back, and this was at night, obviously, and the people are out there dancing, and they have tables in the front where you can eat dinner, and that was at the Mirage, by the way, B.B. King's, and they had great food. The house band was just phenomenal, if you like blues music, because that's what they played, a lot of blues music. And it was like no cover. You would go in.
Really? You didn't even have a cover?
I think maybe late at night they did, but if you went in there for dinner, there wasn't any cover. And you could just stay there all night. They never kicked you out, which was kind of nice.
Really?
Because they played music. And that's sort of what I like is to go to listen to bands and go there for music and sit and enjoy. And they don't really pressure you to buy more drinks, which some places do. But they always come around, would you like another one? And and you go to places where there's music, and then there's people walking around, and all the outside stores that are there. I mean, even Margaritaville. I mean, all they played was Margaritaville and all his type of music, but it was really kind of a neat place.
No, I'll tell you, I've also noticed that there always seem to be. Now, this is
That's
the Mirage, which
that's where I stayed.
Which they have continually, I guess, upgraded and modernized?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, the lobby itself, and it has almost like a forest.
Yes.
When you're walking through the lobby when you check in to where the elevators are, and of course you got to go past the casino to get there. But the Mirage right now, I was a little concerned about staying there because that's been there for a while, but they have all upgraded rooms that all my friends had that we were there, and it was just a fabulous hotel, and that was very close to to Caesars and to Bally's and House. So I like that middle part of the strip personally.
Yeah, no, that's a good area.
I like that middle part of the strip.
When I was recently there and we looked at Caesars, I was very impressed with Caesars swimming pool area.
Oh, yes.
They had about 7 or 8 swimming pools, and they had, which is some of our viewers may be more accustomed to this, but they had these big king size chaise lounges that were for like 2 or 3 people.
Yep.
They had round ones, square ones. It was really quite impressive if you're not up to date on the newest swimming pool.
Well, that's how I want people
furniture.
Who don't know each other to get to know each other by having these 2 or 3 people. Cheers, Jack. Is that how you found out some of your new friends?
No, but I did notice they do a lot of weddings in Las Vegas.
Oh, tons of them. We did see one bride at the Mirage.
You did, okay.
Yeah, we did see one bride, and they walked through, and everyone applauds and say congratulations. And I'm saying, why are you going to Vegas to get married? I mean,
they do
a
big wedding business there.
They do. It's huge a wedding business there. But it's a. I would tell you and all our listeners, if you haven't been there, this is a place to go. I will tell you, it's interesting story. I was there with my wife a few years ago. We stayed at the Venetian.
Oh.
We went, which was a beautiful place.
Yep.
It's like a mini suite, every room, but not that expensive.
Right.
Which was very, very nice. And of course, they have the gondola rides at the Venetian. I mean, it's kind of neat to do a gondola ride in Vegas, and the guy sings to you as you do.
I didn't know they sing.
Oh,
okay.
yeah. The guy who's steering the boat singing to you. It's really nice, but she had never been there. And my wife is a shopper, please. She's going to see this, and I know I'm going to get it later. But she is a shopper, and she just loved the shopping. I mean, the Forum shops, the Venetian shops. Yeah. I mean, just shopping galore.
They do.
And
they
loved
have.
it.
I think Las Vegas has become very much of an international destination.
Yes, it has.
And I know they have stores. I mean, Harry Winston and Bulgari, and I don't know all the designers' names, but Christian Dior, all the big name.
Yes, every single one of them.
I noticed that when I've been there. All the big name designers are there. And I was at there's a new city center. Did you get over there at all?
I didn't get a chance. I saw it. It is just enormous. And what the people working there said to me was, it is just absolutely phenomenal and huge. Just
it is
huge.
So tremendous. I think there's 3 or 4 different hotels there.
Yes.
The Aria, I think one was called the Cosmopolitan.
That's
There's
correct.
a Mandarin Oriental there.
Yes.
I'm probably missing one, but it was just tremendous and very beautifully done.
Yeah, that's the new place that's almost like a whole center unto itself.
Yes.
So
Yep.
when you go to one of those hotels, you almost really don't have to leave the 3 hotels, the casinos, everything is right there. It is just huge.
Now, did you get a chance to play golf or anything? Because I know they have quite a few golf courses there.
No, but I had friends of mine who did play golf.
Yep. Did they enjoy
it? And they loved it.
They did.
They loved it. My friends who are golfers, I'm not a golfer, they had a golf tournament, and they said, of course, it was beautiful weather, even in March.
No, March can be good weather.
It was beautiful weather out there. They loved the golf course. It was very, very close. As a matter of fact, if you're staying at the Wynn, now the Wynn is a very expensive place, but they have their own golf course behind the Wynn.
Okay.
I don't know if you knew that.
I did because I know I had stayed at the Desert Inn several times, and for those of you who are viewers who've been to Las Vegas many, many years ago, the Desert Inn had a golf course. They tore down the Desert Inn, and that is now the Wynn and the Encore is their second building.
Right, so if you stay at the Wynn, and the golf at the Wynn is very expensive to play. I know, but I knew I ate one of the restaurants that overlooked the golf course.
Did you get to the buffet at the Wynn?
No, I missed it this time.
I'll tell you, Mrs. Barron and I went there, I might have been about a year ago, and it was fabulous. They had prime rib, they had Alaskan king crab legs, all the shrimp cocktail you could eat, a huge dessert bar. You know, for those of you who like the dining experience, I'll put it that way. Las Vegas has,
can you eat a lot?
Las Vegas has a lot to offer.
Oh, yes. I mean, the dining is phenomenal there. I mean, I remember going back years and years ago, I mean, you could get a breakfast buffet for like $2 or $3. You can't get that anymore. They're a lot more expensive, but they're great buffets.
Well, I'll tell you, Nelson, on that note, I want to thank you for visiting us today.
My pleasure.
I want to thank ERA Real Estate
for
bringing you to Las Vegas so you could share that with us. And I hope you'll come back because you mentioned to me you might be going to Atlantic City, and you said somewhere else.
Newport, Rhode Island.
Newport, Rhode Island. So these are all places we want to share with our viewers.
I love to, Jack. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, folks. We'll see you soon.